Welcome back, dear viewers, to another spine-chilling installment of our haunted storytelling series. In this fifth episode of Most Haunted Places in Arizona, we delve deeper into the desert state's spectral heart, where ancient whispers blend with modern echoes of tragedy and despair. From ghost towns frozen in time to grand hotels shrouded in mystery, Arizona is a land steeped in legends that transcend reality, offering an endless tapestry of fear and fascination. Arizona's haunted places are more than mere locations. They are vessels carrying stories etched by sorrow, betrayal, and unrelenting spirits refusing to rest. These sites bear witness to events that continue to reverberate through time, battles fought on hallowed ground, unspeakable crimes cloaked in secrecy, and the lingering presence of those who refuse to move on. Each place holds its own dark secrets, whispered through creaking floorboards, flickering lights, and disembodied voices that drift through empty halls. Whether you're drawn by morbid curiosity or an insatiable thirst for the supernatural, these destinations promise encounters that blur the line between reality and nightmare. In this episode, we'll journey to some of the most infamous haunted locales across Arizona, places steeped in lore and fear, where the past refuses to stay buried. We'll peer into the shadowy depths of haunted mansions, explore eerie minds cloaked in mystery, and tread cautiously through abandoned institutions teeming with restless spirits. Along the way, we'll hear first-hand accounts from witnesses brave enough to confront the unknown, examine chilling evidence captured by paranormal investigators, and unravel the tragic histories that give rise to these hauntings. So dim the lights, keep your ears sharp, and prepare yourself for a descent into the macabre. As we step into the haunted heart of Arizona, remember, sometimes, the most terrifying truths lie just beyond the veil, and once you cross it, there's no turning back. The Jerome Grand Hotel, a spectral sanctuary perched above the desert. Perched high above the red rock cliffs of Jerome, Arizona, the Jerome Grand Hotel stands as both a monument to luxury and a repository of despair, a haunting juxtaposition of opulence and tragedy. Originally constructed in 1926 as the United Verde Hospital, this historic building served as a lifeline for miners and their families during the town's heyday as a bustling copper mining hub. Its gleaming white facade and panoramic views of the Verde Valley offered a stark contrast to the dusty, industrial landscape below. Yet behind its polished exterior lay a darker narrative, one marked by pain, suffering, and untimely deaths. The hospital quickly became a center of activity, treating everything from routine illnesses to catastrophic mining injuries. Miners brought in after cave-ins or exposed to toxic fumes filled its wards, while others succumbed to diseases like tuberculosis and pneumonia exacerbated by the harsh desert climate. Over time, the hospital earned a grim reputation for its high mortality rate, particularly among patients subjected to rudimentary medical practices and inadequate resources. Stories abound of surgeries gone wrong, misdiagnoses leading to preventable deaths, and desperate pleas for help echoing through the sterile corridors, all contributing to an atmosphere ripe for spectral activity. One of the most enduring legends tied to the Jerome Grand Hotel revolves around room 318, said to be haunted by the spirit of a young girl named Elizabeth. According to local lore, Elizabeth was admitted to the hospital in the early 1930s after falling gravely ill. Despite the best efforts of doctors and nurses, she passed away under mysterious circumstances, leaving behind a legacy of sorrow that continues to haunt visitors today. Guests staying in room 318 frequently report strange occurrences, lights turning on and off by themselves, radios tuning to static-filled stations, and the overwhelming scent of lavender lingering in the air. Some claim to wake up in the middle of the night to find their bedsheets tangled impossibly tight around their limbs, as if restrained by invisible hands. Another prominent figure in the hotel's haunted lore is believed to be Dr. James Duncan, a surgeon who worked at the hospital during its final years of operation. Paranormal investigators exploring the hotel have captured EVP recordings suggesting the presence of a male entity whispering phrases like, "I can't save them all," and "They won't stop screaming." Witnesses describe seeing a shadowy figure resembling Dr. Duncan pacing anxiously near windows, clutching what appears to be a scalpel before vanishing without a trace. The hotel's basement, once used for storage and morgue operations, has become a focal point of paranormal activity. Employees tasked with cleaning the area often describe hearing chains rattling and heavy footsteps echoing through the cavernous space, though no one else is present. Some claim to see shadowy figures dragging invisible loads, their movements jerky and unnatural. A particularly chilling account comes from a maintenance worker who swore he felt cold metal cuffs snap around his wrists, pulling him backward toward the darkness before releasing him abruptly. Overnight visitors to the Jerome Grand Hotel frequently recount bizarre experiences that defy logical explanation. Lights flicker unpredictably, especially in hallways leading to the older sections of the building. Doors slam shut on their own, and the scent of antiseptic wafts through the air despite the hotel's modern renovations. One guest described waking up to find his reflection in the mirror staring back at him, but not quite matching his movements, as if another entity stood behind him, mimicking his actions. Another recounted seeing a man in a dusty miner's uniform standing at the foot of her bed, his hollow eyes boring into hers before vanishing without a sound. Despite, or perhaps because of, its haunted reputation, the Jerome Grand Hotel remains a popular destination for history enthusiasts and thrill-seekers alike. Its rich tapestry of human drama, interwoven with tragedy and loss, creates an atmosphere unlike any other. For those brave enough to book a stay, the possibility of encountering Elizabeth, Dr. Duncan, or one of the countless other spirits said to roam its halls adds an element of excitement and trepidation. Yet, as each new visitor crosses its threshold, they must decide whether they are ready to face the darkness that lingers within these walls, or will they become another chapter in the hotel's tragic tale. The Yuma Territorial Prison, echoes of captivity and cruelty nestled along the Colorado River in Yuma, Arizona. The Yuma Territorial Prison stands as a monument to justice and retribution. A foreboding structure that housed some of the Old West's most notorious outlaws during its operational years from 1876 to 1909. With its thick stone walls, iron-barred cells, and panoramic views of the surrounding desert, the prison epitomized authority and confinement. Yet beneath its imposing exterior lay a darker narrative, one marked by brutality, despair, and untold suffering endured by those locked within its confines. One of the most pervasive legends tied to the Yuma Territorial Prison centers around Cell Block D, known colloquially as the Dungeon. This isolated wing housed the most dangerous inmates, including murderers, bank robbers, and escape artists. Conditions were notoriously harsh, with prisoners subjected to extreme temperatures, minimal food rations, and punitive measures designed to break even the strongest wills. Historical records indicate numerous deaths occurred here due to illness, violence, and alleged mistreatment by guards. Visitors exploring the site report hearing faint moans and cries emanating from the remnants of the cell block. Some claim to see shadowy figures huddled in corners, their faces obscured by darkness, while others describe feeling an oppressive weight pressing down on them as they approach the site. Another haunting figure associated with the prison is believed to be William Butcher Knife Bill Young, a convicted murderer who met a violent end during an attempted escape. According to local lore, Butcher Knife Bill stabbed several guards before being fatally shot, leaving behind a trail of blood-soaked memories. His ghost is said to wander the grounds, his ethereal form clad in tattered prisoner attire. Guests visiting the ruins have reported seeing a pale figure pacing restlessly near the guard towers, his expression frozen in eternal anguish. Others describe hearing faint whispers of defiance and rebellion, as though someone is plotting another breakout. The prison's surrounding grounds, thick with sagebrush and tumbleweeds, have also gained a reputation for paranormal activity. Visitors walking among the weathered headstones of the nearby cemetery often feel an inexplicable sense of dread, as though unseen eyes are watching their every move. Shadows flit across peripheral vision, disappearing when directly observed. Some claim to hear disembodied voices calling out names unfamiliar to modern ears, believed to be the voices of inmates buried without proper markers. Others report seeing apparitions of men and women in period clothing, their faces gaunt and weary, standing silently amidst the graves. Despite, or perhaps because of, its grim history, the Yuma Territorial Prison continues to attract curious souls eager to confront its spectral inhabitants. For many, visiting the site serves as both a pilgrimage and a reckoning, an opportunity to honor the lives lost and acknowledge the sacrifices made in pursuit of law and order. Whether you're drawn by the allure of its haunting beauty or the weight of its tragic legacy, the Yuma Territorial Prison offers an unforgettable experience where the past refuses to fade quietly into oblivion. The Hotel Monte Vista, ghostly glamour in Flagstaff. In the heart of Flagstaff, where Route 66 meets the towering San Francisco peaks, stands the Hotel Monte Vista, a beacon of refined hospitality with a haunting legacy that dates back nearly a century. Established in 1927 and listed on the National Register of Historic Places, the Monte Vista quickly became a hub for travelers, celebrities, and locals seeking refuge amidst the rugged beauty of northern Arizona. Its stately courtyards, hand-carved wooden furnishings, and sweeping views evoke a sense of timeless grace, yet beneath its polished veneer lies a darker history steeped in scandal, violence, and spectral encounters. One of the most iconic hauntings associated with the Hotel Monte Vista is that of Room 309, said to be haunted by the spirit of a prostitute named Eleanor. Described as vivacious but deeply troubled, Eleanor frequented the hotel during the 1940s, entertaining clients in secret rendezvous until her life ended tragically at the hands of a jealous lover. Her death sent shockwaves through the community, and her memory has since become intertwined with the fabric of the Monte Vista. Guests and staff alike report seeing a woman in a flowing red dress gliding silently through the hallways, her translucent form illuminated by dim light. Some claim to feel an icy draft pass through them as she drifts by, while others report hearing soft humming emanating from empty rooms, believed to be Eleanor tidying up after guests long gone. Another prominent figure in the hotel's haunted lore is believed to be John W. Weatherwax, a wealthy businessman who checked into the Monte Vista in the early 1950s under mysterious circumstances. Though not a permanent resident, his larger-than-life personality left an indelible mark on the property. Visitors recount sightings of a tall, imposing man clad in period attire, pacing anxiously near the bar or sitting alone in a corner booth. His presence is often accompanied by the faint clinking of glasses and the smell of cigar smoke, as though he's preparing for one last deal. Some speculate that Weatherwax lingers due to unfinished business, unable to part ways with the city that played such a pivotal role in his life. The hotel's basement, once used for storage and laundry operations, has also gained a reputation for paranormal activity. Employees tasked with maintaining the area describe hearing muffled voices and the sound of footsteps echoing through the narrow passageways, though no one else is present. Objects are known to move inexplicably. Tools vanish only to reappear hours later in entirely different locations. One particularly unnerving incident involved a server who swore he saw a young boy playing with marbles in the corner of the room, only for the child to disappear when approached. Theories abound that the boy may have been a victim of illness or accident during the hotel's early years, forever trapped in the confines of its lower levels. Modern-day investigations into the Monte Vista's supernatural claims have yielded intriguing results. Thermal imaging cameras reveal significant temperature drops in specific areas, including the main dining room and the basement. Electromagnetic field (EMF) meters register unusual spikes, particularly near antique furniture pieces believed to have belonged to original owners. Perhaps the most compelling evidence comes from audio recordings, which capture disembodied voices uttering fragmented sentences like, "I'm sorry," and "Let me go." Despite, or perhaps because of, its haunted allure, the Monte Vista continues to draw visitors eager to immerse themselves in its storied past. For those brave enough to dine or stay there, the opportunity to encounter Eleanor, Weatherwax, or one of the countless other spirits said to roam its halls adds an element of excitement and trepidation. Whether you're drawn by the allure of its architectural splendor or the thrill of peeling back the layers of its enigmatic history, the Monte Vista promises an unforgettable experience where the line between the living and the dead blurs, and the echoes of yesterday linger just beyond reach. Patterns across Arizona's haunted places, themes of tragedy and resilience as we traverse the haunted landscapes of Arizona. From the opulent halls of the Hotel Monte Vista to the somber grounds of the Yuma Territorial Prison, striking similarities emerge that transcend individual locations and histories. These patterns are not merely coincidental but reflect universal themes of human emotion, unresolved trauma, and the enduring power of memory. From the wailing wards of hospitals to the shadowed basements of monuments, these sites share a commonality that binds them together in a spectral sisterhood of sorrow and suspense. One recurring motif is the concept of unfinished business. Whether it's the victims of unethical experiments, or the betrayed trust of patients subjected to inhumane treatments, these spirits seem tethered to the earthly realm by grievances left unaddressed. Their presence manifests as restless energy, often communicated through auditory phenomena, cries, whispers, or disembodied voices, that serve as pleas for acknowledgement or closure. This theme resonates across cultures and belief systems, reflecting humanity's innate need to resolve conflict and seek peace, even in death. Another shared characteristic is the role of architecture in amplifying paranormal activity. Historic buildings, with their labyrinthine corridors, thick walls, and hidden alcoves, create environments conducive to isolating individuals and heightening fear. These structural elements act as metaphors for the psychological barriers erected by those who suffered within their confines, trapping emotions such as anger, despair, and regret. It's no coincidence that many reported hauntings occur in spaces imbued with emotional significance: operating rooms where surgeries went awry, basements where bodies were stored, or wards where patients met tragic ends. Lighting and sensory manipulation also feature prominently in these narratives. Flickering lights, sudden temperature drops, and inexplicable odors are staples of ghostly encounters, designed to disorient and unsettle. Such phenomena strip away the comfort of familiarity, forcing guests to confront the unknown. The use of mirrors, a recurring element in stories from various haunted hospitals, adds another layer of psychological tension, as reflections distort perception and blur the boundary between self and other. This interplay of light and shadow becomes a tool wielded by unseen forces, creating moments of visceral terror that linger long after the initial shock subsides. Finally, the prevalence of historical context cannot be overstated. Each location's haunting is deeply rooted in its unique past, shaped by the socio-cultural milieu of its time. The brutal medical practices embedded in the DNA of older establishments contrast sharply with the glamorous yet tragic lives immortalized in urban legends. Yet both narratives tap into broader archetypes of ambition, betrayal, and mortality, ensuring their resonance with audiences regardless of personal experience. By drawing on these universal motifs, these haunted places transform from mere buildings into living repositories of collective memory, inviting us to peer into the abyss of our shared humanity. Thus, while each establishment boasts its own distinct flavor of fright, the underlying threads connecting them reveal a tapestry rich with meaning. These patterns remind us that the supernatural is not so much about the entities themselves but the stories they tell, the echoes of lives interrupted, passions extinguished, and truths obscured. As we continue to explore these haunted locales, we find ourselves grappling not only with the specters of the past but with the timeless questions they raise about life, death, and everything in between. What is it about haunted places that grips our imaginations so profoundly? Beyond the creaking floorboards and flickering lights lies a deeper allure, one rooted in the psychology of fear and the human fascination with the unknown. These sites, by their very nature, are places of vulnerability. They are where we confront our mortality, stripped of autonomy and control, relying entirely on the expertise of others to heal us, or where justice was denied, leaving wounds that refuse to heal. When these spaces become haunted, they amplify our primal fears, transforming familiar settings into arenas of existential dread. The combination of historical context, architectural design, and the lingering presence of past suffering creates a perfect storm of terror that resonates deeply within us. At the core of this captivation is the concept of liminality, the state of being on the threshold between two worlds. Haunted places exist in this liminal space, bridging life and death, health and illness, hope and despair. This inherent duality makes them fertile ground for supernatural narratives. Ghosts, as manifestations of unresolved trauma or unfinished business, embody the tension of being caught between states. They serve as reminders that the boundaries we construct, between life and afterlife, sanity and madness, are far more permeable than we'd like to believe. For many, visiting a haunted site feels like stepping into a twilight zone where the rules of reality no longer apply, igniting both curiosity and unease. Architecturally, haunted places contribute to this atmosphere of dread through their design. Long, sterile hallways lined with identical doors create a sense of disorientation, while poor lighting and echoing acoustics heighten sensory awareness. These features mimic the psychological effects of anxiety and claustrophobia, making even mundane sounds, a distant cough, the hum of fluorescent lights, feel ominous. The labyrinthine layouts of older structures, with their hidden wings and underground tunnels, evoke feelings of entrapment and uncertainty. Every corner becomes a potential threat, every shadow a possible harbinger of danger. This environmental manipulation taps into our instinctual fight-or-flight response, keeping us perpetually on edge. Cultural influences also play a significant role in shaping our fascination with haunted places. Media representations, from films like The Shining to television series such as American Horror Story, have cemented the trope of the haunted asylum, courthouse, or battlefield as a locus of horror. These portrayals often blend historical truths with fictional embellishments, creating a mythology that blurs fact and fiction. Audiences are drawn to these stories because they reflect societal anxieties about institutional power, systemic injustice, and the fragility of the human mind. Haunted places become microcosms of larger fears: the loss of agency, the misuse of authority, and the haunting specter of mistakes made in the name of progress. Moreover, haunted places appeal to our desire for catharsis. Engaging with these tales allows us to process our own fears about mortality, injustice, and the flaws inherent in systems meant to protect us. By confronting ghostly apparitions and unexplained phenomena, we externalize internal anxieties, transforming abstract fears into tangible adversaries. This vicarious experience provides a safe outlet for exploring the darker aspects of human existence, offering both thrill and relief. It's no wonder that ghost tours and paranormal investigations of haunted places attract participants eager to test their courage against the unknown. Ultimately, the enduring allure of haunted places lies in their ability to mirror our deepest fears while challenging our understanding of reality. They remind us that the past is never truly buried, that pain and injustice leave indelible marks on both people and places. As we walk their haunted halls, we are forced to confront not only the spirits said to inhabit them but also the ghosts within ourselves, the regrets, doubts, and unanswered questions that linger long after the wounds have healed. In doing so, we find a strange comfort in knowing that we are not alone in our fears, that others have walked these same paths and emerged, shaken but alive, to tell their stories. As we bring this chilling journey through Arizona's most haunted places to a close, one thing becomes abundantly clear: the spirits of the past refuse to be silenced. Each creaking floorboard, each whispered name, and each fleeting shadow serves as a testament to lives lived, lost, and lingering in the spaces we dare to call haunted. These stories are more than mere campfire tales. They are fragments of history, stitched together by human emotion, tragedy, and the relentless passage of time. They remind us that the line between the living and the dead is far thinner than we might believe, and that sometimes the most terrifying truths lie just beyond the veil. But why stop here? If these accounts have stirred something within you, a spark of curiosity, a shiver of excitement, I urge you to take the next step. Visit one of Arizona's haunted places yourself. Walk the same halls where spirits are said to roam, stand in the rooms where history's echoes reverberate, and let the unknown brush against your senses. Whether you're a skeptic seeking proof or a believer eager to commune with the other side, these forsaken institutions offer an unparalleled opportunity to confront the mysteries that lie just beyond comprehension. There's nothing quite like experiencing the weight of decades-old despair firsthand, feeling the chill of a presence that defies explanation, or hearing the faint strains of voices from another time. And when you return, share your story. Did you feel the icy touch of a ghostly hand? Hear the faint tap of footsteps in an empty corridor? Or perhaps nothing happened at all, but isn't that silence just as intriguing? Your experiences add to the rich tapestry of lore surrounding these haunted places, ensuring their legacies endure for generations to come. Share your findings with fellow enthusiasts, document your journey, and keep the conversation alive. After all, every whisper contributes to the symphony of the supernatural. Until then, Keep your lanterns lit and your courage steady. The spirits are waiting.